What's up, YouTube? This is Angie Afternoon, and my Bill O'Reilly uh, reply has had so many mixed comments, and I wanted to just address a few. Number one, I don't think it's necessary to call people out of their names because you don't agree with their opinion about something unless it's justified. The whole "you're a monkey" or "you're ghetto" or something like that. Really, it takes a ghetto person to know a ghetto person. So apparently, even if you're not black or whatever, white trash and ghetto is really on the same front. So you can just all fuck off with that. Um, the reason that I replied to that video is nothing more to expose bad journalism. To me, a journalist with true integrity would not make stereotypic remarks to a guest, no matter how frequent they appear on your show. You don't do that. And especially if you know that it's going to offend a certain demographic. And honestly, I've had a lot of white people look at that video and they're just like, that was just very distasteful. So it's not just a black thing. I'm not raising riots against Bill O'Reilly or any of the Fox News commentators, but that station has an unprecedented track record of being very, very stereotypical towards a number of different groups, and I don't hear them saying a lot of stereotypic things about white people. So to me, a good journalist wouldn't do stuff like that, and they tend to do that. So to me, people are making this as a black and white thing. It really isn't a black or white thing. It's more of a having a good code of ethics when it comes to your journalism. And even with the black conservatives who sort of condone that type of behavior, I look down on them too, because to me it's almost like, I mean, in some respects I get that the only way to combat racism is to use jokes and kind of laugh it off, but at the end of the day it really isn't funny, because we are trying to rise above all these types of stereotypes about our race, and it is exceedingly difficult because there are a lot of rappers out there who feed into these stereotypical ideas about black people, and it's a difficult task, and we don't, a lot of our face fronts in the black community don't really make it easy for us to rise above these things. I'm an individual. I'm not ghetto. I'm not ignorant. Yeah, I may use a slang here and there, but seriously, who doesn't? Who speaks perfect English? Unless you're like an Englishman or whatever, nobody speaks perfect English. So don't sit up there and correct me over some stupid stuff. If I say probably versus probably, come on now, bite me. Seriously, bite me, because that's just really mundane. Um, but just to rebut some of the ideas about my video, I respect everyone's opinion, but I don't think that it's necessary for me to feel guilty about my opinion about Bill O'Reilly and probably half of the Fox News. They are not journalists with ethics. They are very extreme right wing conservatives who don't really care what kind of ideas they portray. And to me, we're all Americans. Why would you sit there and say something as stereotypical as he said to Mark Lamont Hill? And even if Mark Lamont Hill, in the past have joked with him like that, in my opinion, he was not very pleased with that comment that Bill O'Reilly made. So this is Angie Afternoon. Again, rebutting some of the nonsensical comments that were made about the reply video. Peace.